The atmosphere does its best to capture the conflagration, and just 35 miles above the Earth's surface, the projectile does begin to crack and shatter. But it's already much too late. It's too structurally sound, big, and fast to be stopped. For a few heartbeats, as the asteroid is ever so slightly slowed down and fragmented in the skies above Seattle, an enormous amount of energy erupts outward in every direction. And just 3 seconds later, at precisely 8:23 a.m., somewhere close to the corner of Pine Street and 8th Avenue, a ruptured 460-foot asteroid that punched through Earth's atmosphere at 40,000 miles per hour comes to a complete stop. The explosion at the heart of the impact site defies description. Our planet barely notices it's been hit. To that ancient mass of rock, metal, and time, it feels like a pebble being shot into a vast and unperturbed beach. But the tiny humans at Ground Zero see their lives end in a luminous and nightmarish instant. What once was solid is now vapor. The unfathomable momentum of the asteroid and the kinetic energy of the impact, equivalent to several million tons of TNT exploding all at once, has turned crystalline rock, concrete, and tarmac into a fluid, carving out a temporary amorphous hole more than 4,000 feet wide and 1,500 feet deep in the blink of an eye. There isn't a giant fireball. This asteroid was too puny, and hit Earth too slowly to vaporize enough matter to turn everything aflame. But its violent hello creates quakes so intense that the entire city vibrates. If you were standing just far enough away to avoid being swallowed up by the impact's ephemeral maw, it only takes 3 or 4 seconds for you to be hit by a compressed wall of air moving up to 9,000 miles per hour. If your eardrums manage to survive the primeval roar, you may see, just for a moment, a litany of destruction. Trees lining the streets are uprooted and flung into the air as if made of paper. Cars are wrapped around lampposts like warm candle wax. Windows turn into a horizontal maelstrom of glass as skyscrapers and office blocks get knocked back and comprehensively demolished. If by some miracle anyone on the edge of the transforming crater manages to survive the airburst, they will then look up to see a tsunami of rocks, roads, and buildings obfuscating that once blue, beautiful sky. Just 14 seconds after impact, a monstrous swarm of asteroidal and terrestrial debris, composed of fragments ranging in size from boulders to entire city blocks, overwhelms and consumes these people so quickly that, mercifully, their nerve endings do not get a chance to register pain. Anyone a few miles from Ground Zero may survive, but from the time you started listening to this paragraph to the moment you finish hearing this sentence, the city's heart would have been carved out. The briefly liquid-like earth has now settled, leaving a lasting crater a mile across and 1,100 feet deep in its place. The air blast would have taken out thousands of buildings, and the falling curtain of ejected debris would have flattened or eviscerated much of the surrounding metropolitan area. Forget for a moment the chaos, the fires, the peripheral and unpredictable damage such an impact would cause. The rendezvous between that asteroid and the city that, by chance, and chance alone, was unfortunate enough to get in its way, immediately ended the lives of 1 million people. To the rest of the world, it would be like an entire city had been deleted. Phone calls would suddenly be severed. Text conversations would abruptly stop. Most communications out of Seattle would mysteriously drop off. But it wouldn't take long for everyone to realize the horror that had unfolded.